So we are officially at month end. Insane that we have one more month of bonuses, you guys. 1 month. So you know all those excuses you've been telling yourself this whole time? It's time to throw them out the window because we got one shot. We got 30 days to make the things happen. And I've seen personally people on other teams go from 12K to 40K in 1 month. So don't think it's not possible for yourself. So whatever excuses that you've been telling yourself about the business, today, we're going to do a little saging and we're going to release. And all those excuses are leaving with today. So when you wake up tomorrow, you're born new. It's close to Easter. Kind of makes sense. So we are going, like, all the goals. So I haven't gotten any of your goals yet. So send over your goals before the end of the night because I am doing that drawing tomorrow for 25 in credits for those of you that send over your goals. And let's be real about them. If you're saying these goals, I'm holding you to them. And Katie, do you want to interject about goal setting at all?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is obviously we all want you to shoot for the moon. Like we do. We all want to be 200K, right? We all want those weekly paychecks, but set attainable goals. And don't ever think that like, if you've never hit 4K, like you can be 4K.
Easily.
It's echoing for me, so give me a second.
What'd you say? Oh.
I don't know why it was echoing for me like super bad. Okay. Is it still?
No, not for it.
Okay. So if you have never been 4K, like you can be 4K. Trust me, like that's so attainable. If you have a spouse's account that you're working and you want to hit 4K, whatever it is, but just make sure that that you don't have that like goal setting fatigue where you're like, man, I've done this every single month and I've never hit it. Well, there's a reason. So tonight you better like have a little come to Jesus with yourself and be like, what is that reason? Because like Megan said, you have 30 days, you guys. This money is life-changing. Like assign that dollar amount to something. Assign that $500 to paying half of your rent. Assign that $500 to paying your car payment and your car insurance. Assign it to something because the checks are written. Like you just need to grab it. Like it's already written. Like I was actually listening to, I can't remember who I was listening to. I want to say it was like Tom Bilyeu or something like that. But like literally you will not dream of something that cannot, like it will happen. Like it's going to happen. Like you're not dreaming it for no reason.
Like I'm going to win 50,000.
Yeah.
I've been saying this whole time. It's
going to take me on a vacation or something. I don't know.
I so agree with that because this is what I do probably almost every day is I write down the amount that I would get for 40K for the month. And I like write down everything that it's going to go towards. I like literally like dollar for dollar, everything. This is how much I'm going to save. This is what I'm going to pay off. This is how I'm going to pay my bills, da, 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 da. And I just feel like in my bones that it's going to happen. And I just feel like I'm going to get 50,000 too, because I already assigned all that money. So it's happening.
Well, but and who has ever like bought a lottery ticket? Like, have you ever bought a lottery ticket and then you were like put a 1 in the chat if you've ever bought a lottery ticket. And then you were like, if I get this money, I am going to buy a new house. I'm going to pay off all my debt and we're going to go on vacation. Like you've done it. I know you've done it. Like me and my husband do it all the time. We're like, if we win $250 million, we're going to build a 10,000 square foot house, you know, like you've done it. So why wouldn't you assign that money to something? This is something that's attainable.
Well, and here's the thing. That's something that's completely in your control. Like lottery tickets, you don't have control over that.
No.
You have control of the effort you put in though every day.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. So I wrote down everything I want to do. I broke it all down on my page. I said how much a new volume I want to do on my account, how much a new volume I'm doing on my husband's account, 10 new customers by this date, re-VIP both mine and his account. And then I like wrote one customer, two customer, one promoter, two promoter, 100, 200, 300, 400. So I can knock that all out. Help promoters rank up 2 new 12Ks, 4 new 4Ks. So if you want to be one of those, let me know. I'll put your name right there. And 6 new VIP 800s and sending out 30 samples. I want to also earn Mexico on my personal account because I'm so close. So yeah, assigning things and making it real. And like I've been doing a lot of visualization lately, and I feel like that's so huge. And because sometimes you have to picture that happening before it actually happens. It kind of like what Katie was saying gives you permission to achieve it. So I literally visualize my tracker ticking over. I visualize seeing a VIP 800 go VIP 800. And then I picture myself writing a check to my car company, paying off my entire car loan. Like I literally picture these things happening, and for me, it gets super emotional. I cry. And that makes me want to go for it even more because I feel that emotional attachment to it. But then it seems like it's possible. Here's the thing with your brain. It will move you towards what you're thinking. It literally will. If you're thinking to yourself, I can't hit 4K, I can't hit 12K, your brain is going to find ways to sabotage you. Like, oh, it's just not possible for me. Everyone else is doing it, but I can't. I don't know how. Okay, here's the platter with what you've just asked for on it, because that's what happens. And I know it feels foreign sometimes when you're trying to give yourself some positive reinforcement and tell yourself like, I am going to hit 4K, because you see like tomorrow we'll wake up and everyone's tracker is at 0, you guys. Everybody in the company is at 0. And I know it's hard for you to visualize that tracker going to 4K or 12K or whatever if you've never done it before, or because you're sitting at 0 and it feels foreign, but you gotta think about it every day. You gotta imagine it happening. And then it's crazy how your universe and the brain work together to make those things happen.
Well, and right now you guys are seeing lots of shout outs, right? You're seeing lots of shout outs, and every single shout out that you see that your rank that you want, that you're going towards, I want you to say, if she can do it, I can do it. If she did it, I can do it. Save it and be like, I'm going to do exactly what Sally did. I'm going to be exactly like Megan. I'm going to do this. If she can do it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. I heard somebody say this, and it's kind of true. And I'm guilty of it as well, because I literally just saw 2 people get shouted out for 40K, and I was like, fuck. Literally, it's what I said to myself.
I know.
And then I was like, no, I need to flip it, because if I am not cheering those people on, like I don't deserve that same energy. So I was like, good for them. That's going to help their family. But if they can do it, I can do it too. I absolutely can do it. It's just proof that you're capable of doing it as well. They're no more skilled than you. They have no secret. There's no secrets. I think we always are searching for a secret. Like there's a secret sauce that this person that's ranking up super fast knows that we don't know. And that's not true. It's just consistency and time. You don't know how long they've been in business in general. Like if they've been with a company before, you do not know anyone else's story. You also do not know how they're building their team. So do not compare yourself to anybody else. Because your journey is meant to be your journey, but don't shortchange yourself thinking, oh, what they're doing is impossible, because it is totally possible for yourself. 4K, you guys, is one of the most obtainable ranks. And then once you hit 4K, you're like, I got 12K. This is easy.
4K is a confidence boost. 12K changes your family's life. I mean, and the only difference between you and a 200K is that you're looking at this opportunity saying, how am I going to do this? And a 200K looked at the opportunity and said, I'm doing this. So like, that's literally the only difference.
Yep. So Katie and I are not foreign to feeling frustrated sometimes or not achieving your goal. I mean, everybody is, right? What is a piece of advice you would give in a time or a season where you felt frustrated, where you picked yourself up and then made things happen?
Well, I can tell you that I missed the 40K bonus 2 years ago. I have a heavy red leg, you guys. If you ever watch my stuff, if you ever see, you know that I have lots of volume, but you have to even out that volume. I need 40% from other areas. 2 years ago in 2018, I'll never forget when I missed the 40K bonus. I missed it by like $630. And I did not have the money to place an order. I wasn't able to do it. It was right when the skincare launched. There was supposed to be a few more orders going in. They never went in. I woke up that next day and I thought the world was over. Like, I was like so dramatic. I look back now, I was so dramatic.
I remember that very vividly.
Yeah. I thought the world was over.
You're like, I'm not talking to anybody. She was legit dramatic.
Yeah. I'm still dramatic sometimes, but anyway, so I thought everything was over, but I can tell you that like my kids knew about it. My kids knew what I was doing. I don't ever want to wake up and look them in the face and tell them I missed a chance of $40,000. I don't ever want to tell them that they're, like, oh, sorry, like I didn't do it. Like, we can't do some of the things we wanted to do that we assigned the money to because I fell short of my goal.
Hit me like hard. Like,
yeah.
legit. Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you wake up tomorrow and look at your kids in the face and tell them you're not worth that money? Like, you're not worth it. Like, they're worth it. Like, your family, everything is worth it. At that point, I went through some things. I could have quit. I wanted to many times. I mean, I'm dramatic. We already established that. But it took a lot of personal growth. And the only thing is you guys, like, I'm super close to 40K right now. It's not close enough today, but you know what? I'm going to wake up tomorrow and say I have 30 days to do this. Like, let's go, put your running shoes on. And the only thing is you have to detach yourself from the results. Like, we cannot control if Sally Joe didn't buy her 400 pack. We can't control if Bobby Sue signed up as a promoter and didn't do anything.
Names you're coming up
I don't know.
Are you in the South?
Yeah. We can't decide what they do. Like, we can't. You guys, my last few promoters that have bought 400 packs, nothing. Zero. They've done zero. I don't know what to tell you. I had lunch with Steph and she was telling me, Steph G, and she was telling me about the promoters she signed up. She's like, I am striking out. I had 2 people block me. I had other girls, they just said they want to go slow at this. They want to learn on their own. She's like, I have no idea what's going on. It happens to everyone, you guys. Like, you just have to continue and you have to keep going. It's literally numbers. It is sheer numbers. How many people are you talking to a day? How many people are you adding a day? How many lives are you going to change? It is numbers. And like,
the thing is sharing your personal story that is emotion driven, not benefit driven.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of like what would emotion be versus benefit for you? Because then I'll share mine too.
Oh yeah. Well, a benefit would be like, I'm working towards a $40,000 bonus. Buy for me because this changed my family's life. Like, that's what, like that. An emotion driven would be the fact that like, I didn't have options before, you guys. My family lived paycheck to 3 days before paycheck. We went and we would get paid on a Friday. I would go grocery shopping Friday morning, 8 a.m. when my money hit the bank account, because if I didn't, we wouldn't have groceries for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because we had so many bills. Student loans.
I will attest to that because that's what, like, her and I were just talking about this, like, maybe that's what we should segue into, is how different your life can look if you just decide to go for it. And like, you've been starting the 75 hard, Heather. He talks about the bitch voice. You got to shut the bitch voice up sometimes in your head that tells you the things like, oh, you can do your IPAs later, or, oh, you're no good at this, or why don't you just take a day off, or like, oh, you got too much going on. Like, you don't need to add to your network. You need to stop that. You acknowledge that shit is happening, and you say, this is what I do. I'm not even joking. This is what I do, because it happens to me. I get all my morning stuff done. I go downstairs, get my kids off to school. It is so much easier for me to like just chill on the couch for a little bit and watch some reels or something. And then when that little thought comes in, that's like, you should just chill. You worked so hard this morning already, or, you don't need to do your workout yet. You're good. I'm like, shut up. I will say it out loud. I'm like, shut up. No, I'm doing it. But how different your life can be if you just decide this is the time that you want to go all in. That's what I decided in December with my health. I said, I'm going all in. But let me tell you about what my circumstance was like before. How long ago was that you and I were talking about that stuff? A year and a half.
About groceries and stuff? It wasn't that long ago, like year and a half ago, probably.
So like a little bit prior to 2020.
2019, summer of 2019, I think it was pretty rough for both of us.
Yeah, so summer of 2019, you guys, were like less than 2 years ago, I was on the phone with Katie, bawling my eyes out, saying, I can't afford anything. I don't know what to do. I have to pick up a part-time job. Like I am, like I don't know what to do. We're struggling financially. We can't even pay the mortgage. Like we were struggling. And then I just made the decision to keep going and showing up every single day. You guys, we pay all of our bills before the second week of the month. Mm-hmm. All of them. Every single one of our household bills are paid by the second week of the month with my money, not even with my husband's. And like this morning, I just got up and I'm like, I want some Nike sweatshirts, and I ordered some, and I was able to pay for my plane ticket. I was able to put the deposit down for my room in Mexico. I earned Mexico for the first time. My husband and I have never had a honeymoon together. We bought a 4-wheeler for our kids. Like we've done all this stuff, and it's only because I never stopped going. I just kept going every single day, even if no one signed, even if no one wanted to sample, even if no one liked my post. You guys, I put a post all the time that gets 0 likes. You just don't see them because I archive.
Or you were doing, lives, and then your next live gets 40 views. Like what? Like, I mean, there's so many times where it's like, okay, nobody's hearing me. I don't feel like anyone's hearing me. And I think that's the hardest part about network marketing is we don't see when somebody reads our post and the wheels start turning in their head. When we reach out to someone and the wheels start turning, I will never miss an opportunity to say to someone when they say to me, I can't afford that. I always say, well, it sounds like this opportunity would be good for you and your family. I say that every single time. Do you know why I say that? Because when Steph and Amanda Ing enrolled me, when they were in a 3-way with me, trying to get me to try Thrive, those are the words that Steph said to me. I was like, I don't have the money. And she's like, then it sounds like this opportunity is going to be good for you and your family. I will never miss an opportunity to say that to someone.
You must use that line a lot because I'm pretty sure that's what she said to me.
Yeah. Well, it works. Hello. Like think about it. Even if they come back and they don't say anything, they're watching you. They saw that message. Every single time they open that message, most of the time they say thank you. Yep. You know what? In a couple months, maybe they're going to want a mini. In a couple months, maybe they're going to try it. Maybe their tax return will come back and they'll say, please, can I try this to their husband? And they'll say, okay, fine. You never know who's your next 12K, 40K, 80K, 200K. You don't know. Like, you just don't know. I just never miss the opportunity to share the business because 4 years later, you guys, this has really changed my family's life. It really has. I mean, we no longer live paycheck to paycheck. We live pretty great. So I won't miss an opportunity to do that. I will also never miss an opportunity to pull someone in that knows more than me. My team, I'm super huge on 3-way messages, like huge. Like I am a stickler about them. Like when somebody comes to me and says like, well, what do I say now? And they've had multiple back and forth and they don't know what to say. I'm like, did you put me in a message? No. Okay, we'll start one. And they've proven to be very successful. People sign up as promoters, people sign up as customers. They'll come back a couple months later and say, well, now how do I promote this? Because I really like it. You guys, you have to have that third-party validation. It doesn't only come from messages, but it also comes from, if you interview someone on Facebook, a phone call when you first sign someone up. Tonight, I had a phone call with some of my team members. There was a new VIP. We talked with her. We had her create her goals. We have them draw a line down their paper. We tell them to put 5 to 7 people on one side that could use the products for aches, discomforts, weight management, whatever. And then we tell them on the other side, who do you know that's influential in your life? Who do you know that has a big Facebook, that has a lot of people? Who do you know that posts daily? Let's talk to those people. Let's see if they want to make some money off of doing that. It is so important that you do that with other people and you build those skills, because that is how you learn. I learned from that message that Amanda put me in with Steph. And that's something that I still use to this day, almost 4 years next month. It sticks with you. Like, you have to learn from your leaders.
Yep, I completely agree. Especially if you're newer, especially if you're not confident with closing, especially when you have people that have questions. That here's the thing, you're probably assigning it the reason why you're not doing it. A couple of reasons why I think people don't do it. You're assigning it to be weird. Like, oh, it's going to be uncomfortable. Okay. It's not. I've never had a situation where people have been like, no, don't throw me. Can I throw me in a 3-way? No, I don't want to be in this message or whatever. God dang kids, they distract me.
I've had a few that have, and it's not a big deal. I just say,
No.
okay, well, if you change your mind, just let us know. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
No, I think you're putting too much pressure on it, honestly.
Like, right? Really get used to being told no. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you. I already told you I'm dramatic. I'm the youngest. I'm the only girl. I was never told no. Like, okay, like I was never told no. I got whatever I wanted. I was actually telling someone the other day, me and my stepsister would talk my parents into letting us go to Mall of America. They would give us money. Like, we were never told no, like, ever. Okay. So like, when I started, like, hearing no and being rejected, that wasn't fun. Like, I didn't like that at all until like it just happened a lot. Like, Go for No. If you've never read that book, you need to read that book. GoPro by Eric Worre, read that book. Like, you guys are going to get told no. Like, it's okay. You're going to get rejected. People are going to sign up and not do anything. But when you're 200K and you've paid off all your debt and you're living how you want, will it be worth it? Will you even remember the people that told you no? Probably not.
I don't remember the people that told me no, because I literally, there's a girl on our team. I don't think she was able to come on tonight. Her name is Brittany. She literally messages me every day. Thank you for changing my life. And so all that other stuff doesn't matter to me, because I changed her life because I decided to open my damn mouth. And I mean, at the end of the day, we have our own goals, but like, what if you miss the opportunity to truly impact somebody else and change a situation for them? If Steph wouldn't have opened her mouth, I do not know where I would be right now. I don't know where I would be.
And none of you would be on the Zoom call, and none of you probably would have tried Thrive.
Oh, that's crazy to think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. None of you.
Yeah. And I would have been broke, overweight, crabby, worst relationship with my kids, worst relationship with my family. Just like this through life.
Yeah, like the mommy, like the totally.
I didn't have the money, you guys. I did not have the money at the time. I literally put I got paid and I had $100 left over. And I was like, I have to make this happen. I ordered my pack on a Friday. I got like 4 customers over the weekend, got some of my money back on Tuesday. So like, if there's a will, man, there's a way.
My first check was $52.
Your own way.
Yeah. Huh? My first check was $52. And that meant that I could put gas in my vehicle. Like, I remember there was times when I would be like, Ben, how are we going to put gas in our vehicles? What are we going to do? Because I drove so much for work and we didn't have enough money, and we get mileage checks for work. They didn't do anything for me. You know,
to get them, let's be honest.
Yeah. And so that meant I could put gas in my vehicle, and I didn't have to be like $5, $10. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Megan and I were talking about the fact that like we used to overdraft a lot in our accounts. We don't even remember the last time that happened.
I don't.
I don't either.
It used to happen all the time to me. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay a lot of money.
Mhm.
Add it up.
And the fact is, like, somebody needs to hear your story. Like,
Mhm.
whether you think it or not, like, somebody needs to hear your story. I have someone on my team. She was severely overweight. She didn't leave her room for like 3 years until Thrive came into her life. She started on balance. She lost like 60 pounds. I could not convince her to do the 3 steps. She finally did. She's lost 120, 130 pounds. Her life has changed because not just because she lost the weight. Now she goes out of her room. She has her life back.
That's insane.
Like, there's somebody that needs to hear your story, and they desperately need to. Whether they're going to be a customer or your 40K, 80K, whatever they're going to be, they need to hear your story.
You guys, I was in the worst place ever before. I just keep thinking that. Like, if this never came into my life, I don't even know where I would be right now. The realest version of myself that I am today is literally because of these products. This was not me before. So I want to ask, when we all get seasons where we get stuck too, or we feel like nothing's happening, how do you get yourself out of that? Do you evaluate what you're doing and ask yourself, okay, what are the things I'm not doing? Because that's what I have to do for me personally. I have to sit there and say, okay, so I am doing X, Y, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever, but there's a piece that's missing. What am I not doing? And maybe that's consistently doing lives. Maybe I haven't went on a live and shared my Thrive experience in a long time. Maybe I haven't put stuff in a 3-way recently. So I think running through that sort of thing, like being really honest with yourself. Don't like fluff yourself and say like, I'm doing all the things and nothing's happening. You just really got to be, am I actually getting into people's inboxes? Am I following up with my customers and connecting with them? Like, if you're telling me you're doing all the things, I promise you're not doing them all. Because even I don't do all the things sometimes. Sometimes I miss stuff too. And then I have to recheck myself and ask myself, what are the things I'm not doing and why? That's probably the reason why my business is not growing. Do you have anything that you do that's similar, Katie?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. Most of the time, I'm not going to lie. Like, I do the daily actions. I go through that, but it's the intention behind it. Am I doing my personal development? Am I taking care of myself physically? Am I getting enough sleep? Are my relationships with my husband and my children okay? My parents, like people that impact my daily life, are those all okay? Because a lot of times you don't realize that those outside sources are very much affect your business, very much. The other thing is, I go and I ask. I'll ask Amanda, I'll ask Steph, I'll ask an upline, I'll ask a sideline. Like, what, like, look at my page. What else should I be doing? Like, a lot of times I'm not being bold enough about the 3 steps. Maybe I'm putting it in my stories a lot, but I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, even if I'm not doing something, like, here's my friend Megan, look at her transformation. Here's my friend Patience, look at what she's doing. Like, I'm not being bold enough and giving credit to Thrive. I'm not giving the credit where credit is due. When people come to me on my team and they tell me I'm stuck, I know they're not doing personal development. 100% hands down. When they tell me they don't know what to post, I know they're not doing personal development. When I ask them to see their prospect list and they have 0, I know they haven't sent out a mini this month, or they haven't attempted, or they haven't gotten free accounts. I saw something the other day that somebody posted that about how Paul talks about the free accounts and the 100 free accounts in 30 days, because they have done studies that for the people that go 4K in 30 days have 100 free accounts. What makes you exempt from that? Why do you think that they're making us get free accounts right now? I mean, it all plays into each other. So if you're just not willing to face the facts, like to face, why am I not moving forward? If you go to someone and you ask, like, I always have this theory. I was telling my team the other night, if I go to Steph and I say, Steph, what should I do? And she says, add more people to your network. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's too much. If you want someone else's paycheck and they give you advice and you don't do it, well, then that's why you don't have their paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
For real. I mean, like, everybody has different ways to do things, but if somebody gives you advice and you're not willing to do it, then there's a reason.
And that doesn't mean like, so like, seriously, Steph gives me that advice sometimes too. She's like, add 200 people to your network. I'm like, Stephanie,
it's sheer numbers. That's why.
I'm like, Stephanie, I'm going to get blocked from Instagram. I don't think you understand. That doesn't mean you have to literally add 200 people to your network. But that means you go in and you intentionally add people to your network right after you hear that advice. Or if they're telling you it looks like you're not sharing enough about Thrive and people aren't hearing about it, that's when you need to go live that night and talk about it, or that's when you need to post about it that day.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of sitting on it and being like, well, when would be the perfect time? Right now would be the perfect time.
Well, and I don't know about your team and who's what and how many promoters they have, but like, Steph has always said from day one, I can remember her saying this when I signed up, and when I signed up, she was going for 40K. She says, I never rely on my team. She always just goes out and does the work.
Mm-hmm.
So you should never rely on people underneath you. You should never blame them. You should never wonder why you're not moving forward. You should only always look inside yourself and see like, what can I do? And so that's like tonight and tomorrow is a good reflection time to be like, what can I do different? Because you have 30 days. And if you don't think that this will change your whole entire business by grabbing a bonus, like, do you know how many people are going to come out of the woodwork and be like, how did you do that? Why did you, like, how can I do that? Even if bonuses are over, they can still change their life.
If you get your bonus, talk about getting your bonus. Don't just get your bonus and then just not talk about it. Like, you have to talk about it. And I think so I actually was having this conversation with somebody. I'm not going to point them out, but they were like, how do you sign promoters? I'm like, because I'm not afraid to talk about the business. I used to literally tell Steph that I suck at signing promoters. Those words came out of my mouth. And she's like, no, you don't. You're just not talking about it enough. And I was like, because there was a belief issue that like, well, I don't really know how to lead other people or whatever. So I had to address that problem and realize that if I don't know the solution to a question that somebody might have, or if I don't know how to quite lead this person, you guys, there are so many people on this team, not even just me, up and up and up, sideways, that are willing to help you. You're not in this alone ever. If you think like you have to know all the things to step into leadership, you don't have to know all the things. You just have to take the first step and understand that you have a whole team of people behind you. There's never been a time where I was like, I'm just ready to be a leader. I'm going to go do this thing. I was just like, I'm going to try. I'm going to show up with my heart. I'm going to care for other people. I'm going to want to help them succeed. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to ask Steph. I'll put them in a message with her. And then I learned through that 3-way message how I can help support somebody else in this business and the right things to say and how to word certain things and whatever. And with time, you get more comfortable, but don't ever allow the lack of a paycheck or the lack of a number of people underneath you to stop you from talking about the business or to stop you from stepping up as a leader.
Did you know that nobody actually thinks like, oh, I wonder what you made this week? Like, people don't think that. Like, they don't. Like, as long as you're explaining to them about what you're doing with your paycheck, and say your paycheck's $15, you guys. My husband's account I'll be right there. My husband's account hits 4K sometimes, Some weeks it's 15, some weeks it's 70. I don't transfer that money until like all at once, until I can actually do something with it. So take your checks and put it towards something. Put it towards your cable bill or your internet bill, whatever it is.
I think Brandy does that.
Yeah. Put it towards something. But you guys have one of the best leaders. You know that people seek her out that are sidelines that want her help because they see her all the time. Learn from her. Like, honestly, learn from her. Listen to what she says. Listen to how she says things. Listen to the inflection in her voice when she's in a message with you guys. Take those and take it with you. Just like I took that line from Stephanie 4 years ago and I still use it. Like, take it. Like, that's what it's there for. We just borrow confidence. That's all. When you're building your leadership skills, you borrow confidence, and that's all you do. But this can change your life if you let it.
Do you know how many times I've effed up a message before? Like, but I learned from it. I was like, never saying that again. Oh, but I failed through all those things, you guys, so that you don't have to when you put me in a message with your people. I'm not going to mess it up because I've already done that on myself. Like, I'm not going to do that to you guys. So I always say, like, I failed first so that you guys have a shorter timeline, but you got to be willing to do the things that I'm telling you to do. Because I say it all the time, I wish I could go to your house, take your phone and like do everything for you, but I can't. I can't do that. I'm not you. Your audience follows you for a reason. They want to hear from you, and they want to hear how you have the energy to help your kids every day, how you actually feel confident for the first time in forever. How this business has given you courage to step outside of your comfort zone and grow as a person, how this community has allowed you to meet some of your best friends. Katie is my best friend, you guys. If it weren't for business, we would have never met each other. I think we did a live together on a channel.
Yeah. We would have never had all those experiences and drive each other crazy and inspire each other. And we travel together, and we always
in
take
the
the
car
same flight
for hours.
We'll never do that again. We only fly now.
All the time. Like, without this business, I wouldn't have literally my human in life to talk to. And you got to be loud and proud about those things, you guys. Those things that you might think are insignificant, like, oh, nobody's going to care about me talking about confidence. Hell yeah, they will. Do you know how many people want to feel confident? Or like having friends. Do you know how many people are lacking community right now? Or even just talking about putting $20 in your gas tank. Like Katie said, I had to, at 33 flipping years old, I had to ask my dad to put gas in my car. Embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
I saw a quote that said, nobody hustles harder than the person that doesn't like to ask for things. And I was definitely the person. I don't like to ask for things. I don't like to go humble myself and ask my mom to buy me groceries. Like, no. So this was the perfect opportunity and the perfect storm, you guys. We have an amazing company they are always coming out with more. They want us to succeed. So you just have to do that. And the other thing is, like, if you find someone, if you hear someone on a Zoom, if you watch something, if you see someone do a live and they really inspire you, tell them, connect with them. One of the biggest things I like to tell my team to do is when they are in a rut, I tell them, reach out to someone, ask them their story, ask another thriver their story that's not on our team. And then you say, can I tell you my story? Because you need to remember, like, where people came from and what their life was like before.
Even yourself. That's so huge, because like, I interviewed Maggie, she's on Ashley's High's team on one of my lives. I got information from her. Like, and I've been doing this business far longer than she has. I learned things from her. So like, interview some other thrivers. And I shared this in the Sunday Zoom, that whatever your niche is or whatever your thing is, like, if you're a single mom, grab another single mom to talk about. If you're trying to help other single moms, grab another single mom that's a thriver and have her share her story on your timeline, because somebody needs to hear that they're not alone. So
I have so many single moms on my team, by the way. So
you're like, you can grab one of them.
You can grab one of mine. I'll tell you who to talk to.
Exactly. So I just want you to, like, we're gonna wrap this up because I don't want to keep everyone too long. But as you are like winding down your night tonight, I want you to first release everything that every reason why you tell yourself you can't do this, every excuse you've given, like I want all of that to go. And I want you to think about when you wake up in the morning, all the reasons why you should do this, why you deserve this. Because each and every one of you deserves this. I know all of you, you have the best hearts, because otherwise you would not be on my team. Truly, we have the best group of people here, and you deserve everything that you want in your life. You deserve to be able to tell your kids yes to things. You deserve to be able to pay all of your bills with one paycheck. You deserve all of the things that are on your heart, and they're there for, like Katie said, for a reason. Those things that you keep thinking about that you want in your life, they're there for a reason. God placed them there on your heart for a reason. And the reason they keep popping up is because he's telling you, go my child and be faithful. So
I can't wait to see all the shout outs from all you guys, because you're going to go all in for the next 30 days.
All of you are.
Yes.
And Sarah's going 12K on Derek's account.
Yes.
And Randy's going 12K. I feel like Oprah. I'm going to be like, and you get a 12K. And
you get a bonus, and you get a bonus.
All right, guys. I hope you have the most wonderful night. I'll get this recording out to the team chat so that if you want to rewatch, or if there's someone that's on your team that happened to miss it, you can get this out to them. Thank you so much, Katie, for your insight. We just jive well together, I feel like. And I always appreciate anytime you take time out of your schedule to pour into us. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you all to the end of the picture. Sorry, I always forget your story. Oh man. Okay. TikTok. Actually, it's Reels now. I don't even go on TikTok anymore. Jeez. I'll put this in the chat too for you guys. All right. Thank you guys. I love you all and have a wonderful night.